Greetings, Internet. My name's That Guy. This is the 28th House, and we're back with another edition of That Guy Goes to the Movies, wherein me, that guy, gives you his not so much a review of a movie that I just saw, but more like a how to explain this, an impressionistic painting of my thoughts, a sort of stream of consciousness distillation of my impressions of the movie that I just was able to see, and now I'm giving you my thoughts of it, raw and unfiltered. So the movie for this time that I just saw is Demon Slayer Mugen Train. So where to begin? Where to begin this sort of review? Let's start at the previews of the movie because there was a time when I really look forward to watching the previews of the movie that I was going to see. So for this one, the three that I saw, because I kind of came in a little bit late, was Mortal Kombat, the new Ghostbusters movie, and A Quiet Place 2. So A Quiet Place 2, I don't care because I never saw the first one, and I know what happened, so, I don't need to see a sequel. Ghostbusters, that's one franchise I've never really been into, even though I watched the cartoon like in the 90s or whatever. So I don't care about that either, although it is kind of funny that they're already rebooting the franchise again after the disaster that was the 2017, 2016, whenever that the most recent Ghostbuster movie came out. Yeah, total disaster. And then Mortal Kombat, which I would sort of be interested in. But hey, if it's a Mortal Kombat movie and it doesn't have Christopher Lambert, I am out. So with that out of the way, let's get to the actual movie that I saw, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. So what were my thoughts? Well, first off, as is typical with a UFO table production, the animation, everything, the production value is very high. Very glad to see that. I'm sort of disappointed sometimes with anime movies. When the animation doesn't look anything like it doesn't look any different, doesn't look like they spend any more money or anything, more resources than what they did for the television series. So I'm very glad that UFO Table, as always, their production values are way up there. Animation looks great, all that, can't take away from that. Secondly, is I just like the fact that, a lot of anime movies, especially when they're of long running, like shonen series, the movies themselves aren't really tied to the franchise in any way. They don't take place in any sort of continuity. They're not canon or whatever. They're basically just for fun. They're there so you can see the characters in another, environment or whatever. It's usually they're facing some new big bad, so there's going to be tons of exciting, crazy fights, but it really doesn't have much to do. There's no real, I guess, character development or anything. It's just we're sticking the characters in some sort of unique situation and let's do some crazy things. So I do appreciate that this movie, it does seem to actually take place after the first season of the Demon Slayer TV series. So I'm very glad that the story is being continued somewhat, and that the effects of this movie, the after, I guess the from the conclusion of the movie, it'll have effects as the series continues. So I'm glad of that, although I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Oh yeah, the bad guys. One thing, I guess his name was Dream, the guy that put them all to sleep, all that, the demon. I thought I don't know, in typical villain fashion, he took his plan to get rid of the Demon Slayers. It was kind of roundabout when could have been, it seems like it could have been done maybe in a more straightforward manner. I mean, he already put him to sleep, but he said that he couldn't himself, go kill the Demon Slayers because they would wake up once they sensed his presence. So he, I guess, took hostages or whatever to do it for him, some kids. I guess he promised them to give him good dreams. That's what they were saying. But so the way that he had him try and kill them was like go into their dreams and destroy their spiritual core, which is interesting. But I don't know. sending, just random kids to fight, highly trained demon slayers, even if it's in a dream world and they're trying to destroy their spiritual core. I don't know. That sounds like a job for maybe someone with a little more training than, just some kids pulled off the street. And the fact that they had like ice picks with them, like, couldn't they have just like gone down there and like stabbed Tanjiro and Rengoku and Zenitsu and Inosuke like right in the head or something with their picks? I mean, no need to go into the spiritual, try to destroy their spiritual core. Just stab them right in the head, stab them right in the skull. They're dead. The demons win. Demons win this round. So yeah, kind of setting. It was a plan set up to failure, kind of, which is interesting. Or my other thing is, so if he like combined with the train, Sleep did, whatever his name. No, sorry, his name was Dream, not Sleep. Very closely related, but not the same thing. So when Dream like combined with the train, like, couldn't he have done that at the beginning maybe, and then like eaten all the passengers, including the demon slayers, or would they need to have been killed maybe before then? I don't know. Maybe I missed that part, but yes, I did like the dream sequence for each of the characters. So when they got put into sleep, they each had their own silly little dream like sequence that they were in, that they had to bring themselves out of. So that was interesting, especially for Rengoku, because again, or maybe I didn't mention this before, but I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if he maybe gets a little more screen time, shall we say, in the manga, a little bit more to his characterization. So it was interesting to see a little bit about his backstory, that his old man, I guess, was in the Demon Corps. He was in the Demon Slayer Corps himself, I'm guessing maybe as the Flame Hashira. And I guess it was just interesting because even in Rengoku's dream, his dad, I guess something had maybe happened to him in his past that made him give up the Demon Corps or something. So even in his idyllic dream sequence, his dad was still like, I don't know, like had given up on life, had given up on the Demon Slayer Corps. Didn't care that his son had become the Flame Hashira, all that. So it was interesting to see a little bit of his backstory. And then as I was watching the movie, I realized they got I don't know, I think they're doing the whole, the way the character dynamic between Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro, like, especially in this movie, I don't know, maybe it wasn't so much apparent in the TV series, I don't know, but it was usually when they have, stuff involving those characters, they're usually playing Inosuke and Zenitsu, for comedy relief, whereas once we get to what Tanjiro's doing, then it's more serious, more dramatic. And so it seems like redundant the way that they're going about using Zenitsu and Inosuke, both as comedy relief, when really you only need one of them to be comedy relief. I mean, you don't need both of them to be played silly, because then if, I don't know, both of them being played silly kind of ruins, I don't know, the mood, or, when there's drama building to what Tanjiro's doing, because the other two characters, that are part of his group, they're mostly being played for yucks. I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, discordant maybe, or it just doesn't flow so well. They need to decide, okay, this is the character that's going to be mostly played for comedy relief. I would guess to be honest, it's actually a hard choice, because I do like the comedy relief from Inosuke and Zenitsu. It's just when they're all three together and both of them are still being played silly, it's too much. You need to have a better character dynamic between the three of them. You can have one buffoon that we can all laugh at, but not two. But anyways, my only disappointment with the movie was that Mitsuri only had a very brief cameo for like 2 seconds at the very end. You thought I was going to give you a real disappointment with the movie, some real criticism. No. I am very shallow. All the series I like, they have a waifu that I attach myself to, and Mitsuri is it in this movie. So I was very sad that yeah, she played a very insignificant minor role with only a couple seconds of screen time. Very sad for me. I was very surprised how the way that the last act of the movie happened with Rengoku having to battle, oh gosh, what's his name? Azaka, I think was his name. The demon at the end, the martial artist guy. Having to fight him alone, and unfortunately not quite having the skill and power and whatnot to be able to defeat Azaka all by himself. He heroically sacrificed himself by, I guess, slowing down the demon enough to where he slowed down the demon enough to where sun came up. It was morning again, so the demon had to flee because, yeah, sunlight destroys him, I think. Although I swear I remember during the TV series that wasn't the case, but I'm probably misremembering. Is that a word? I'm probably not remembering correctly what happened. Anyways, he dies. I was very surprised, especially because he was just introduced, the last, couple episodes of the TV series, Rengoku, when they all finally meet, all the Hashira. So I was very surprised that so soon after meeting such a character, being introduced to him, getting to know him a little, I found like I wanted to know a little more about this character. Like, why did his dad give up, being in the Demon Corps? What happened to his mom? What about his little brother? Is his little brother still alive? Does he want to be like him? Lots of questions I have about Rengoku, which I guess I won't be finding out the answer to unless I read the manga, which I always could. So anyways, I was very surprised that they took that they sacrificed a character, because usually, even anime movies, they usually don't have much to do with the series, like with the actual series. They're just there for fun, but they usually don't. And I guess if you think about it, they could take more chances with their stories, because hey, they don't really matter. But in this one, that does matter, that does take place in the continuity of the series, that they killed off such a major character so quickly was quite shocking to me. But I appreciated it from a storytelling perspective. I guess it kind of summed up sort of who Rengoku is, kind of wrapped up his character arc as protecting the weak, taking the responsibility that is strength, that is position as a flame Hashira. All that is to protect those weaker than him, to protect those from the demons, and to not give in to the demons' temptation of becoming one of them, living forever, and fighting, becoming stronger. Yes, he did not take the bait. So in conclusion, I like the movie. I like it a lot. It looks great, sounds great. Oh, I forgot the great music, the overly dramatic, like orchestral stuff during the more somber moments, the over the top. Well, actually, it's still like orchestral, but it just has like a really like metal guitar going that's really loud. I like that. I like the pop song at the end to sort of bring you full circle with all the emotions that you've gone through for the movie. So yeah, great movie. Go see it if you're an anime fan. If you have seen Demon Slayer, heck, even if you haven't seen Demon Slayer, don't know about it, like Wikipedia it real quick to get a sense of what it is. Go see the movie. I do not think you will be disappointed. So I love the movie. But what did all of you guys think of the movie? So let us know in the comments, however you're watching this on YouTube, if you're seeing the clip on Instagram, Twitter. Let us know what you think of Demon Slayer Mugen Train.